that co-working spaces have such incredible value, especially for the future of work. So many people are working from home, and it really adds such an incredible option for people to be able to have the best of both worlds. They can both have their own business and still come together and have the opportunity to socialize, to have events together, to meet people, and to network.
The most important part of co-working space is the community that comes along with the co-working, being able to work around like-minded peers, people who are doing fun things, and especially getting out of your house and not being stuck in your own home office, continuously seeing other people, great coffee, great food. It's a great time overall.
Coming into Groundwork, I just knew it was unique because the community piece. So you can come in and get your work done, but there's always someone around grabbing coffee or something. So when you want that social part of your day, you can find that here. Collaboration in general is a huge piece of co-working. There is so much talent here. Whether you're asking the people that work here, do you know anybody who could help with this type of project? Or I'm looking for a venue to rent to host this kind of event. I just think it's a huge resource.
There's an attitude of community and support that is just irreplaceable. There are a lot of organizations that work here, have events here, and it's actually given me the opportunity to participate more in the community.
The people who come here tend to take their work really seriously. They really value what they do. What's important about spaces like this is that it gives people a lot of opportunities.
I wouldn't have even started my business if I hadn't been here at Groundwork, because that is what inspired me to actually try something new. I first joined Groundwork because we had just moved to New Bedford. I was doing marketing in a remote job. It was boring. I needed something different. All the time when I was here, I would end up talking to the people from E4All and see all these people in and out that were starting their own businesses. So it started making, the wheels of my brain turn. I went on a bunch of walks with Sammy, throwing all these crazy ideas out until finally I landed on one that stuck. Applied for E4All with my wife, and 4 years later, we're thriving.
More than 10 years ago, I was living in Argentina, and I visited my first co-working space, and it was just the first time that I saw this culture of people showing up in an office because they wanted to, not because they were forced to. People working on things that they were excited about. There was just a different type of energy in that space, and I thought it was like the coolest thing I've ever seen. So it planted that seed. Having been living in a really big crowded city, I came back to New England in the winter and I was like, where are all the people? Then I was like, okay, well, I want a space like this where I can go and interact with peers and have relationships and feel like I'm part of a community. So since it doesn't exist, I guess I'll just make it and hope that other people show up. Why New Bedford and Fall River? I was kind of drawn to the idea of these old industrial cities. New Bedford is a seaport as well. There's a lot of mixing of different cultures, a lot of really cool old architecture.
There's a lot of history behind these spaces. In terms of the vibe, each space offers a very different feel. New Bedford is really open, really bright. The kitchen's like a central location, so it's more sociable.
I love this particular space. When I come in here, we've got the very tall windows. We actually have a water view of New Bedford Harbor, and I get to come into a space that's bright and open. It's full of people. In the depths of winter, it's a very comforting place to be. Fall River is a quiet, studious place to work. I call it my study lounge. And when I really got to concentrate and focus, sometimes I go to Fall River.
This is such a cool space. Here it's very cozy. It's very homey. You kind of feel like it's a bit of a hug when you come in. It's just really a delight to enjoy the space.
Above all else, I really think that the opportunities and the chance to grow is really the best thing about this place. And one of the walls in New Bedford, it actually says, work together, grow together. And I really genuinely feel like that is a good representation of what Groundwork is.
I would say to people that have not been to Groundwork that there is a space for you here. One thing that I would like to share that I've been thinking about as I'm reflecting on these 10 years is that I feel really lucky to have been the person to start pushing the ball down the hill, but this space would not be here and would not have become what it is over this 10 years without the support of so many people. I just feel really lucky to have been a part of that.